everybody, this is Pierce with Great Plains, and behind me is the Great Plains Turbo Max. This is the 15-foot model, so you'll see it's the 1500. This tool is made in a variety of widths, as small as 8.5 foot on up to 48 foot. And this is probably one of the funnest tools that we have to sell. These things just go out and run. The history of the Turbo Max, it was originally designed as a seedbed preparation tool, and it's evolved over the years, and now guys are using it as a residue management tool in the fall. They're using it to incorporate litter and manure and other different chemicals into the soil. They're using it to incorporate cover crops as well. And in some situations, we have guys using these as pasture renovation tools. So it's a really versatile tool, and today we're going to cover some of the main features and benefits of it. The coulters are on 7.5-inch spacing, and then we offset the front gang with the rear gang, so we actually get a 3 3/4-inch cutout. So we get a really nice sizing of the residue all the way across the machine. One of the other really nice features of the Turbo Max is that we can adjust the gang angle from 0 to 6 degrees. So when we want a true vertical finish, we can run 0 degrees. Most of the time guys are running about 2 to 4 inches deep. We've got guys that'll run a little bit deeper. They'll push 5 or so, maybe 6 in some situations. But they'll run it in a finish at 0 degree to give you a nice seedbed to plant into. Or in the fall, when you're more worried about sizing residue and incorporating that so it doesn't blow, they'll run upwards of 4 to 6 degrees on the gang angle. And one of the unique things about Great Plains is you can adjust that on the go. So when you're going through the field, if you get from a wet to a dry spot, or an area where maybe there's a little bit more ruts that you want to fill in, you can adjust the finish right as you're going through the field. It's all hydraulic on one of the SCVs. It's been a great tool for us. This is a 15-foot. In terms of power, we need about 10 horsepower per foot. And that's at the drawbar, so we need about 150 horsepower in front of this thing. And that's true across the line. So we offer 8.5, 10, 12, 15 that you see here, 18, 24, 30, 35, 40, and 48-foot models. So we've got a model Turbo Max with most tractors that are out there today. Some of the other really nice features for this tool is we have a single point depth control. That's in the front of the tool, so it's super easy to adjust the depth. And then the finishing attachment, we have a set of spider wheels, and then we have a reel on the back of that. Some of the newer Turbo Maxes, we have options for hydraulic reel. So when you get into wet conditions, you can pick that up out of the way altogether, and that'll allow you to run in wet conditions and start drying that process out. So then you can come back in a few days with the gang down, and at that point really prepare the seedbed for you to plant into. On our larger models, when we get to the 18-foot and above, we go into a folding model. So the 15-foot's the largest rigid we have. 18-foot and above, we go to 3-section. On the 40-foot and 48-foot, they're actually 5 sections. So we've got some really nice transport widths and transport heights for these tools. It's a pretty versatile tool. And on our folding models, one of the other nice things for those is that we utilize active weight transfer. So we actually use the fold cylinders and we regulate the pressure on the base end of those to give us the ability to force the wings into the ground, and at the same time follow those wings over the undulating ground as we go through the hills in our fields in the Northeast. So the Turbo Max has been a great tool. Some other options we have are going to be weight kits to help penetrate into really hard, tight ground, as well as the Turbo Seeder, which is a seed box that sits up top in the middle of the tool, which is used to applicate cover crops and different seedings in the fall or in the spring. So it's a really versatile tool, being able to adjust the different depths as well as the gang adjustment through the field. We can really dial in the finish from a nice heavy incorporation in the fall and sizing that residue to a little bit of a lighter high-speed pass in the spring to give us an ideal seedbed to plant into.
Empire Tractor.